members of the Watch. We are now under high alarm. Stay alert and detain any suspicious person on site.
Hey, I'm Yug, and we have
I'm Matt.
Matt here from Gameplanet, and we are here with the lead designer, Ricardo Bare, who's working on Dishonored. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem, I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. All right, now you were telling us before your development history. Where did you actually start out?
I started in the industry working on Deus Ex 1. I was one of the designers on the first Deus Ex, and then from there I worked on some of the other Deus Ex franchise games like the PlayStation version. I worked on Deus Ex 2 also. Yep. And now I'm at Arkane Studios. I'm one of the lead designers.
Fantastic. Now, for the people out there that don't know much about Dishonored again, can you actually just explain to them, in a summary sort of game, give them, tell them about the game and what's different about it?
No problem. So, in Dishonored, you play a supernatural assassin called Corvo Atano, and the whole game takes place in a fictional city of Dunwall. And it's our own invented universe, our own invented city with lots of really cool fiction. It's kind of an industrial era city with lots of really cool and interesting technology. And the player's objective is to go through and take out these very important targets that have wronged him. And along the way, the player has all these really cool gadgets and really cool powers that he can use in interesting combinations to accomplish the missions in according to his own playstyle. It's totally up to you how you finish it. In fact, for the players who go really deep and want to dig into the side quests and stuff, we even let the player not kill anyone. There are ways to eliminate your target that are super creative that make them just kind of vanish off the face of the earth. So.
Hold on, how? How does that work? Do you just push them into the water? How does this work?
I'll give you an example. So there's a group of politicians that you go to take out, right? They're called the Pendleton twins. They're these really nasty individuals. They have a slave mine, right? And so if you kind of dig into the background in the world of Dishonored, you can meet this gangster named Slackjaw. Yep. And if you do a favor for him, he'll do a favor for you. And instead of you having to go kill them, Slackjaw captures them and he puts them to work in their own mind. He shaves their head, gets rid of their identity, and they just disappear. So your hands are clean. Yeah, it's sort of like a poetic justice type thing. Every single target in the game that you have to take out, there is like a poetic justice way to get rid of them.
Nice.
Right on. I noticed in the trailers and some of the gameplay there's a possession mechanic that goes on, so you can possess did I see possessing of rats and things like that?
Yeah.
Animals. What else can you tell us about that and possibly any of the other techniques that you've got going on there?
Okay, so that is a really cool power in the game, and it's also one of our scariest powers because it gives the developers headaches. But we've gone really far to try to support the mechanic in lots of interesting and creative ways. So when you buy the power at really low levels, you can do things like possess fish and swim around in the water and find tunnels that go into buildings that you're trying to infiltrate. Same thing with the rats. We even have we can use powers in combinations, right? So some players can summon a swarm to attack people, but some players have they've gotten both powers, possession and swarm, and they've summoned their own rat swarm, then possessed a rat and escaped. And if you upgrade the power to the highest level, you can do things like possess humans. And that's really cool because it lets you, get the lay of the land, spy around, but it also lets you through security devices that are attuned to the person that you've possessed.
So I hope I'm not getting into spoiler territory here, but what was it that gave you these magical powers?
There is a very mysterious being in the world called the Outsider. And he's sort of like, you're not really sure if he's benevolent or evil. He's something kind of in the middle, kind of rolled into one package. And he's got an interest in you. And so he's giving you some of these powers.
You don't want to end your life to the sound of idiots cheering as your head hits the muck, do you? Let's see if we can do better. And to make things interesting, my mark.
This is an original IP, and I mean, you were working on Deus Ex as well back then, but what's it like working on an original IP? I mean, is it challenging, rewarding? How have you found it?
It is really fantastic. It's super fun to be able to exercise, all the team, all of our creative muscles to come up with these cool concepts that we hope everybody loves as much as we do. It's also risky though, because it's brand new and no one's seen this stuff before. Yeah. We've been working on it now for like 4 years. We've put our hearts into it. We really love it, and so we hope the rest of the world loves it too.
So how did you come up with this whole kind of Victorian steampunky kind of thing and these tall boys and all that kind of thing? It's a really cool universe, I'd have to say. Where did that spring from?
Thanks. We have a lot of creative people on the team. We've got Harvey Smith and Raphael Contoni. We have some really great art direction from guys like Victor Antonov and Sebastian Mitton. And like I said, we've been working on it for 4 years, and we just did a lot of historical research. First of all, we started like looking at London back in like 1600s, 1700s. We took a lot of inspiration for that. But then
A grim place by all accounts.
yeah, you got the Great Fire and the plagues and stuff like that. So a lot of that is kind of in the game. Yep. But then we also, from scratch, kind of built our own universe around that, introducing this weird alternate technology based on like a whaling industrial revolution. And so it's kind of our own take on steampunk. This is by no means like a classical, steampunk genre thing, but it does have some of that inspiration.
And it also sounds like it draws a lot from your experience of Deus Ex as far as the open world stuff goes, the different ways to be able to approach things. Do you think that's a fair comment?
For sure. We've got a lot of guys on the team who are huge fans of those games and worked on some of those games, like the Arx Fatalis and Dark Messiah, Deus Ex. We've got huge Thief fans on the team. Some of the guys worked on Bioshock 2. So that all that stuff is kind of in our genes, it's in our DNA. And that's one of our biggest core values is like we want to put tools in the players' hands to let them just kind of explore the world and play their own way.
No, I think that's great.
Wrap it up for us.
Thank you very much for joining us. And go to Gameplanet and check out trailers of the game, and keep on Gameplanet for all your E3 coverage this week. Cheers, guys.